Evening, how are you doing today? Yes, it is how to create an effective family system. Your family needs to run on a system. You know, we've had a couple of classes that are close to this on this channel. I think about 3 of them. However, I realized that very many struggles parents have in parenting is because they do not have a system. Parents are not taking action. They still do not have a system. So today's class is about how to help you create an effective family system. Now, many times you hear Nigerians come back from abroad, they say, you see, when we go abroad, Nigerians abroad, they know how to behave, they behave well, they follow rules, they follow regulations, but when they come to Nigeria, they don't do the same. They just behave randomly. The truth of the matter is, the place they go to, abroad they go to, there's a system, there's a working system. It is why a system that holds them accountable. It is why it is easy for them to behave there. When they come back, they are struggling to behave. So imagine you running a family like you experience abroad. Everything goes smoothly. Whether you are there, whether you are not there, everything goes smoothly. This is what this class is all about today. How to create an effective family system. When we talk about family system, we talk about structure you put in place. We talk about your structure that you put in place, structure that makes everything go smoothly. Structure that helps your children behave. They know exactly what to do, when to do, how to do. Just like in Nigeria, you see people, they just beat traffic lights anyhow. But when you go to a place where there's a system in place, everybody knows exactly what to do. You don't even need to you don't need to have lasma on the road telling you stop, don't stop, you have defaulted, you are under arrest or something. You don't need that. Everybody on their own from the word go knows exactly what to do, whether somebody is there watching or not. It is there. That is what we call a system. That is what we want to replicate in our families. If we can adopt that kind of a system, if we can have a system that holds our children accountable, it will be super easy for a lot of our parenting dramas to be minimized. Now, I think yesterday or so, I was talking to a parent and I said, it's easy when we talk about countries abroad, for example. Look at their system, look at the way things work there. A child that is 18 years is already leaving the house. The child is an adult, right? The child can take a loan. The child can actually fund their education through loan. Now they have a system that prepares the child towards that stage. Look at it. From when the child is 13 years, the child is already allowed to pick on small jobs. I have a family I work with in Canada. The girl, she's 13, she's already certified, she's already a certified, I think, caregiver or nanny, something like that. So she can actually pick up a nanny job now at 13. So if they're already preparing them for independence, that is their system. So when the child gets to 18, the parents can say, okay, it's time for you to go. You're an adult. You can actually live your life. The child can leave their home. They can go and pursue their life. They can take a loan. They can fund their education on their own because they have a system that prepares them for that. They have a system that makes it possible for them to just be that. So now imagine us having that kind of a system in our home, a system that prepares our children, not just random, no winging, no. When we talk about a family system or any system, we're talking about a structure in place to regulate activities, a structure in place to empower individuals to behave in a certain way. Now, you have how you want your children to behave. You have a vision for your family. Then you have a structure in place that makes sure that vision is possible, a structure in place that makes sure your children are able to behave in that way. Every member of the family is able to behave as they are supposed to behave. That is what we mean by a system. Remember, I said in the US, for example, the adult age is 18. And when they say an adult, you are 18, it simply means that at that age, there's a level of independence that you are expected to have. So they have a system that they just don't wake up and say, oh, you are 18, you're an adult, so you cannot live, or you cannot live on your own, you can be on your own. No, that is not what they do. What they do is they have a system that recognizes that, okay, our independent age is, our adult age is 18 years. So before that child is able to behave as expected of him at 18 years, we have to prepare him down. So they have a system. Somebody is asking for the link. Sorry, if you are here, please help me get the link across. Let me quickly share the link. I've copied the link. Let me quickly share. I was sharing the link. That's done. So I was saying that simply means that, okay, to be an adult at 18, certain behaviors are expected of the child at 18. So from 13, from young, the child is being prepared to be able to act 18 when the child is 18. That is a system, that is a structure. So in our families, we want to look at something like this. Can we adopt a system like this? Can we replicate something like this? How can we bring such a system? How can we build our family around such a system? Now, the first thing I want you to know, okay, if you are joining me, my name is Edimi Orebo, and this is brought to you by the Visionary Parents Academy. It's an academy where parents are actually, they learn, they get empowered to achieve their parenting vision, to smash their parenting goals on a daily basis. We meet every single day of the week and we learn parenting, practical parenting strategies. We are open for 2025 registration, so we'll talk about that as we proceed in the class. But before then, I'm still talking about the family system. That is what we are doing. Like I said, we have a couple of videos in this channel that have treated similar topics. We've treated structure, we've treated your family constitution. They are all part of a family system. However, I realize that very many parents, many of their struggles they have is because they do not have a system. They are not taking action. When you do not take action, you are not going to get results. I have said it over and over again. When you take action, you will get results. It's not about coming to learn. You know, if you are learning, you are not taking action, you are wasting your time, wasting my time, wasting my data, wasting your data. So you must be ready to take action. And after this class, you must be ready to create your family system. I'm going to, as much as possible, teach you every single thing you need to be able to create your family system. However, from in January, the month of January 2025, what we'll be doing in the Visionary Parent Academy is we are going to meet every single day via Zoom, and everyone is going to create a family system. Yes, via Zoom every day. We are going to meet for the first 2 weeks or the first 3 weeks in January via Zoom. We are going to have a template, talk about family system. Everyone is going to create a family system. That is one of our major goals for 2025 in the Visionary Parent Academy. Like I said, if you have not registered, you can register, or you can register and to be part of it. However, whatever I'm going to teach you today will be enough for you to create your own family system if you want to. But if you don't know, if you want further help, prepare to join us for 2025, and we'll teach you everything. We'll practically hold you by your hand, and we are going to be creating it together. So let's go. I just likened our family system with to a developed society where you just go there, everything seems sane, everything is sane, you know. I have a relative that lives in the US permanently, and she was telling me that, oh, human beings are human beings everywhere. The way they do things in Nigeria, that's the same way they do things there. There is no major difference. The only difference they have here is that the system is here, the law is here, you know. there's a consequence for your choice. When you break the rule, everybody knows their boundaries, everybody knows what they're supposed to know. So when you default, when you break the rule, someone say good evening, oh good evening, thank you so much for joining me. So do what to ask your questions and share. So if you break the rule or if you default, you are going to face the consequence. That is one thing that they are conscious of. That is part of the system. That is it. That is part of the system. So let's start by looking at what is a system. Let me use a family system, for example. It's the structure you have in place, it's the routines, it's the well spelled out expectations, it's the boundaries, everything you put in place to run your family effectively. Mind you, you have expectations of your children. Now your system is part of your system is the structure you put in place to teach your children to be able to meet that expectation. Remember, I was talking about a country like in the US where the adult age is 18. At 18, the child is expected to be on their own, expected to be able to pay their bills, expected to be able to pick a job and do all sorts. They just don't sleep and wake up for the child to be 18 and they say, okay, oh, you are 18, now go out into the society and be on your own. They don't wait till that. What do? They begin to prepare the child towards acting the adults or acting 18 when the child is 18. So from 13, children are allowed to pick jobs. You can babysit, you can dog walk, you can do a lot of things, take care of pets and all of that, and you get paid for it. They are introducing them to independence from there, so that 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, that's 5 years. 5 years of training. At the end of the day, the child cannot say, yes, I'm actually independent on my own. That is a system. That is what your own family system is expected to also entail. A structure, a developmental structure, a system that builds the child up to be able to meet the expectations you have of the child. So let's start from, okay, I've defined system, and the next thing I want to do, I don't want to go into the advantages of a system. We know that when you have a working system in your home, behaviors are clear. Your children are going to be more able to behave well because you have a system, a running system. You don't need to always ache your head. You have something that works, that holds your children accountable. It becomes easy for them to meet expectations, family expectations. You can go to sleep and say, yes, my kids they'll do this, they are this, so that is one of the advantages. Another advantage is, you see, when people grow up, they start saying things like, oh, my parents were mean, my parents this, my parents that, they were not reasonable, they were very extreme. System minimizes that. You know why? Because system is a structure. System is consistency. System is your child understanding what is expected of them. System is your child having a voice in how decisions are made, how the system is structured in the first place. Is why we have parliament. Is why we have people representing, democracy. System is founded on democracy, where every member, every community gets to choose their representative. Okay, go to the house and help us and be our voice there. In a family system, it may not be that brother when you get to send the representative to go and represent you there. However, in a family system, everyone has a voice. Your children have their voices heard. Your spouse has his or her voice heard in a family system. So at the end of the day, they understand we all came together to say, okay, this is how things are going to be done in this family. So when your child grows up, there's no kind of animosity. There's no him saying, oh, my parents were reasonably strict. Nah. Because you all came together to have it structured, especially when your children are becoming preteens and teens. Even when your children are younger kids, they are 5, they are 6, they are 7, even 4. they can think a bit, so you can begin to introduce them, bring them together, because there's an age your child will get to, you will not you don't have to always, when children are small, they are newborns or they are infants, you can just always, because they don't understand, they can't think, you are the one that is thinking for them. You are their frontal lobe now that is thinking for them, that decides for them, However, as they grow older, they can think. So you don't always have to think for them. They can understand the consequences of their actions. So you don't always have to just jump in the way to save them. So in this case, children cannot be part of your own system, part of your family system. They too can come together to contribute, to have a voice. So as long as they have a voice, it becomes easy to say, you were the one that decided. You were here. You know why things are the way they are supposed to be, or rather things are the way they are in our family. So let's go into, I just shared about the advantages. I said, some of the advantages I said, your children are more empowered to behave. One, meet your expectations, that's what I mean. One. Number two, if there is no grudge like, oh, my parents are this, they are mean, they are strict and all of that. No, system minimizes that. You know that, hey, you do the crime, you do the fine, you do the time, that is system. So the child now is not going to be angry at the parents. They are not going to look at the parents being bullies. They are going to now look at themselves, be reflective. System help people to reflect. That's 1. 2, 3 rather. System harmonizes family. It brings unity amongst the family. Children, family, everybody is just bonded because of your family system. So let's go into one major thing I want to share, the elements. When you are creating a family system, the things you should look out for. Now, the first thing you want to do is, in creating a family system, I always tell parents that, see, before you even jump out to say, okay, I want to create a family system, you want to sit down, take your own time and reflect. You want to be sure of what you want. When you are sure of what you want, then you are going to empower yourself, because sometimes you have your spouse not on the same page with you. Sometimes you have your children saying, no, this thing is extreme. No, we can't have this in our system. It's not fair. It is why you need on your own to empower yourself. Everything you want to talk about, you want to have create in your system, you want to make sure that they make sense. You want to find out, how does this thing benefit my child? How does this thing benefit my spouse? How does my child understand that this thing benefits him? How does my spouse understand that this thing benefits him or benefits her? It is very important, because you are going to create a system and you are expecting everyone to follow, because you need to be consistent. So for you to be consistent, you want to make sure that you are not emotional. You want to make sure that you are not random. You want to make sure that it makes sense. You want to make sure that it solves a problem for your family. You want to make sure that it harmonizes your family. You want to make sure that, yes, your children are able to actually meet expectations that are covered in your system. So you want to sit back and empower yourself. You want to sit back and learn, first of all, equip yourself. Make sure I know what I am talking about. If I'm making this suggestion, I know I know the importance of this suggestion. So you want to empower yourself. You also want to make sure, okay, if they say no to this suggestion, they are bringing a counter suggestion. I want to make sure that I am not so bossy. I am not so sentimentally attached to my suggestion. I want to make sure that I am also able to reason through their suggestions. So before you even start to say, okay, I want to craft a family system, you must be in a good place. You must be in a good place. Knowledge-wise, you must be in a good place. Skill-wise, you must be in a good place to be communication-wise, to be able to communicate what you want to communicate. I always say that when very many times we actually want to achieve something, we have good intentions, good and fine, but our tone, is it tone I'm looking for? The way we convey, the way we go about it, will seem like we don't have good intentions. We don't go about it the right way. So when you want to create a family system, because the first thing you want to do, especially when your kids are preteens and teens, you want to have a meeting. And guess what? It's not just a one-off. Even if you are just starting, you just have young children, or you have older children, or you have young children, or you don't have kids, you are not married yet, but you want to have this in mind. By the time your kids are in the picture, they are growing, you are going to have it periodically. It's not a one-off. That's why you have constitution. That's why you have law amendments. Yes. Remember, I started, if you are just joining me, you want to go back and watch from the beginning, where I use developed countries as an example to creating a system. You want to go back. So it is where we have House of Assembly, House of Senate, we have whatever they call it in different countries. It is where we have sittings. This is where they meet, they have sessions. This is where they have constitutional amendments. Because from time to time, as your children begin to grow, there is need for you to make amends. For example, in your family system, like when I'm creating one for the Visionary Parent Academy, like I said, in 2021, the very first thing we want to do, the very number one thing we want to do is to create our system. And it is not like the way we've been creating it before. You have a document, you have a template to follow. No, this time around, we are going to meet every day in a Zoom meeting for 1 hour. We meet 1 hour every day in a Zoom meeting, where we are going to literally like hold our hands. You are going to be held by your hand. You are going to create your system. What you have in your system, you are going to be creating it for the first 1 month. That is what we are going to do. So I'm creating a document to that effect, and I have something in the document that says decisions. So I have 3 categories of decisions in the document. One of the decision is the one your children can take on their own. They don't need to tell you, they don't need to ask you, they don't need any permission from you. They can just go ahead and do it. So when you have that system, when your children says, oh, mommy, you are always imposing, you will let them know that, hey, there are some I need to impose, and why I must impose. There are some that they will take on their own. They don't need to bother you. Like what kind of snack, when you go out to buy snacks, what snack should they buy? As long as it's within your system, your boundary. As a family, you have your boundary. Now, this is it. For example, we eat healthy. We eat healthy. Because we eat healthy, you cannot just go out to buy any snacks. You have to buy snacks that are maybe food-based. You want to buy snacks that are organic or something like that. So because you eat healthy in your family. So that is already the boundary. So your child goes out, they see maybe they see plantain chips, they see dry fruits, they see what is it called, peanut burger or peanuts. They see something like coconut chips. They see something like potato chips and all of that. They are organic, so you are not forcing them. They are food based. You are not forcing them to take any one, because that is the decision that is within their influence. Then you have another category where you and the child come together to decide on to make certain decisions. So there are decisions that you and your child must make together. And there is a third one that this is not negotiable. It is not negotiable. You are my child, and I'm making this decision for you. For example, your child is sick, they don't want to take drugs, it's not negotiable. Your child has certain friends you are not comfortable with, because you've seen it outrightly that this particular friend is a negative influence. They are not negotiable. Your child wants to go out to play and they want to come out late in the night. They are not negotiable. So you have certain decisions that are not negotiable. You have the ones that are negotiable, the ones that are not negotiable, and the ones that you don't even need to interfere. So now as your child grows older, you are going to be able to say, okay, like when they are young, you can decide on more. As they grow older, even the negotiable ones or the non-negotiable ones, you can begin to give them more, call them more slack or more allowances to be able to handle those themselves. Now, this is why you are going to review your system every now and then. You put your system in place. It's not moving, it's not shifting, it's sacrosanct, but from time to time, you all are going to come together to say, okay, let's review our policies. Let's review some of the things that actually guide us in this family. So I was saying that the first thing you want to do, okay, I've talked about you empowering yourself. If you are joining me, please, you need to start this video from the beginning to now so that you can fully grab what we are saying. So the next thing I was talking about is, before you even create your system, you need to have a vision for your family. You need to have a vision for your family. It is very important. You know where you are going to. You sit back and ask yourself, when my children are adults, or what do I want, or what do we want as a family? How do I want to see my family? It is very important because it is that vision that will determine the system you are going to put in place. For example, I remember, I don't remember which state in Nigeria, that they said everywhere is so clean. That was the vision, to have a very clean, okay, I don't remember. I know it's this south state side. They said everywhere is so clean. That is the vision, that you pass through the straight state, you drive for 30 minutes, you will not see a single litter on the floor. You will not see any single thing on the floor. That is a vision. Everywhere is so sparkling clean. People go there, I've not been there, people go there and talk about, that place is so clean. You can drive for 1 hour, you can drive for 2 hours, you will not even see a litter on the floor. However, you can see something like a trash, a garbage basket or a garbage drum. So if you have things, litters to drop, you just pull over and go and drop them. That is it. Now remember, in creating your system, like I said, you must empower your children to be able to live within your system. You must empower them with skills to be able to meet expectations. Now that particular state, they want a very beautiful and clean state. So what did they do? They have to empower the people to be able, because if at the end of the day, there are no garbage corners or garbage is it vans now, drums, garbage drums in strategic locations where people can go and drop their litters, what do you think will happen? People will still be throwing. Someone will see it and throw. Someone will see it and throw. That is it. Now, in order for them to minimize that or to prevent that, they actually put garbage drums around the city. The same thing happened. I was talking about traffic rules in abroad, for example. They don't even need to have last man on the road holding you. Somebody say, oh, good evening, man. Thank you for joining me. They don't even need that. What do? They have cameras everywhere. You break the rule, they are not going to let you go. They are going to give you a ticket, call you to come and do the fine because you have broken the rule. You know, that is it. So the first thing you want to do is to sit back and have a vision. What kind of family do you have? Vision in parenting cannot be taken away. You can never separate vision from parenting. It is impossible. So if you don't have a vision, you are likely going to be winging it. You know, you are likely going to be winging it. I say to parents that, why do you smack your children when they misbehave? Because the vision you have of your child is that you don't want your child to grow up. You don't want to raise an adult who has that particular weakness sabotaging them. That is why you smack your child when they misbehave, right? That means you have a vision of your child. If maybe your child tells a lie, you are offended, you are smacking your child. Your child takes what is not theirs, you are offended, you are smacking your child. It only means one thing. You don't have a vision of your child becoming a thief. You don't want a vision of your child becoming a liar, becoming untrustworthy. That is it. So in this case, as a parent, you need to have your vision spelled out completely. Is the first thing you want to do. I want to have a city that is always clean, like in the case of Calabar. I think it's Calabar. You know, Cross River State or something like that. I think it's Calabar. I want a city. I want my city to be clean, sparkling clean, to be a tourist, to be center where people come in and they admire. They have something to talk about. They have they have the gigantic buildings there, the mansions there. They talk about it. No, what do my kids say they call this thing? Tall building, high rising? They want to have them talk about big buildings. They want to talk about beautiful cities. No, that is a vision. You put a structure in place to actually have that. So when it comes to family, you also want to have your vision. Now, when you have your vision, you have to create your values. Your values must align with your vision. Your values just, they're a set of principles that will help you achieve your visions. You don't have values out of space. When I tell parents, oh, good evening, ma, thank you for joining. When I tell parents that, what are your values? You hear parents giving random values. Then what about your vision? Their vision is different. No, your values are such that they will align with your vision. Get that straight today. You have a vision. You must have a vision. Your values are such that they must align with your value, because your values are your principles that guide your parenting, and your children must be aware of your values. Your values must guide your parenting choices, because remember, you have a vision. Your vision is your destination, is the big picture, is where you are going to. Your values are your principles that guide you towards that destination. I always say that values are mere ideas until they are acted upon. No wonder many people will say, oh, my value is X, my value is Y, my value is Z, and they don't even act upon them. They are not your values, they are your ideas. If you have values and you don't act upon them, they are just ideas, they are not values. Your values must be acted upon. Values are not even things you say to people. No, they are things that the people see it in you as a human being. They see it in you. They see it in your choices as a human being. That is your value. That is your value. So you must have values have a system to be effective. You must have values, and your values must guide your parenting every single day. If you are getting value, please type in here that I am getting value, and what you can do again, anything you are learning that resonates with you, that you can easily take and run with, just put it in the comment section, and I will be glad to read through and see that, yay, someone is actually learning and making impact. That is why we are here. Like I said, we are here to learn, and not just to learn, to take action. If you're not taking action, you're wasting your time, you're wasting my time. So you must take action. So you must have value. So if your values before were random, please go back and create your value again. Your values must be things that will lead you to your path, to your vision, and your values must be known to your children. They must be known to your children. It is important. It is when your children understand your values that it is easy for them to follow. Let me give you something that happened today. One of the things I teach my children is, one of our values is self-discipline. Self-discipline. And we reflect self-discipline in a lot of things. I tell my children that you can always wait. And I teach it in delayed gratification. I tell them that you can wait. In the Visionary Parent Academy, I talk about this. I use teachable moments every single day for my children. I don't miss a teachable moment, and I always say, like I shared today in the Visionary Parent Academy, know that it is never an emergency. That is what is one way you can use your teachable moment. You can take advantage of teachable moment if you're able to work on your emotions. You know that it is not always an emergency. There is no point to rush. An emotions mastery class is another thing we do in the Visionary Parent Academy every year. So if you have not registered, you need to join us for 2025. It's open for registration already. Just ask how you can join. I promise you that it is going to be worth it. It is going to be worth every single of the time, your investment, and everything. So I tell them every day that one of the things I do is delay gratification. That's one of our values. Be able to hold back, self-discipline, and I teach my children it is not an emergency. So let me share with you something that happened today. So my children, they attend a school where we have I'll call it their cousins in the same school with them. So my daughter came back from school and said, oh mom, my cousin gave me a sweet in school, so I brought it home. I didn't lick it, I brought it home. That is it. I wasn't in school with them. Today they spent how many hours in school? From 7:15 when they got to school till like 1, 2 o'clock when I went to pick them. How many hours? She brought the sweet home. She didn't take it in school. She brought it home, not caring if I was going to tell her, yes, take it, or no, don't take it. She brought it home. Why did she bring it home? Oh, thank you, ma. I said I'm getting value. Thank you, ma. Why did she bring it home? Because One of our values is self-discipline, delay gratification, and I share this in the Visionary Parent Academy every day. It's not because she couldn't have taken it. No, it's not because she couldn't have taken it. It's not because I would have known if she had taken it. No, but simply because I have been able to impress upon her, to reach her, to let her know that holding on is very important. It is our value, and you need to learn to hold on. I've been able to let them know that, see, if you take it now, what happens? Nothing. I've been able to let them know that it is still you. You are still the one that will enjoy it later. So why not wait? I've been able to teach them that waiting is beneficial to you. You need to learn to wait because it is our value. Because I know that for our family vision, we need to learn self-discipline. Self-discipline cannot be taken away from our family vision. I know that they need to learn to make sacrifices. I know that they need to learn to let some things go for them to achieve their personal goals and vision as individuals. They need to learn to wait. They need to let some things go. And one of the things they need to learn to let go is now. Giving into the flesh now. So they need to learn to train their mind to be able to wait. That is our value. Because I know that no matter what they desire, when it comes to success in every dimension of life, whether career success, whether relationship success, whether spiritual success, whether personal health success, they need to learn to discipline their mind. They need to learn to wait. And I keep teaching them. And that was why. So when she said to me, Mom, Fechikude gave me a sweet in school today, I wasn't surprised. I didn't eat it. I brought it home. I wasn't like, oh, really? I wasn't surprised because I expected that. That is, okay, sorry, don't worry. That is me creating a system, a value that actually, a system for a value that aligns with my vision. If your values don't align with your vision, then there's every likelihood that you are not going to take them seriously. Because your values, you need to communicate it to your children every now and then. They need to understand the vision, the big picture. They need to understand why the vision even matters. They need to understand the values that will help them achieve that vision. And they need to understand why the values matter and how they can operate. They can actually reflect the values, learn the values, habitate it, and not just it becoming a mere, like they say, like I said, ideas are not values really. Okay, so I said you need to have a vision, you need to have your values. Now you need to have your vision statement. Yes, your vision statement. It is non-negotiable. Because, like I said, I want to make it as practical as possible. And this is one of the first things I'm sharing. That one of the very practical. I've talked about vision. Have a vision. It's practical. Create your vision. Sit down. Create your vision. I have something like I've talked about value. That is it. Create your value. It's practical. We have the book My Family Constitution. I have my family vision guide. So your vision will help. My family vision guide will help you create your vision. My family constitution will help you create. In fact, you can also go to this channel. We've talked about this a couple of times already. And we have materials in the Visionary Parent Academy that will help you. When you join us, you are going to have these materials for free. However, if you don't want to join for 2025, you want the materials, you can just drop it in the comment section and you are going to get these materials too at a token. But if you join us for the Visionary Parent Academy 2025, you are going to get a lot of material, a lot of templates, and I'm going to literally hold you, not just me. We have a group of admins who work together, and we're also expanding. We are going to hold your hand to help you create all those things we are talking about. Make it practical so that you can run with. So you are going to have a vision statement, and every time it is, I say, faith cometh by hearing, not me saying it. The Bible says faith cometh by hearing. And I've explained it 1,000,001 times. When our children hear it over and over, it soon becomes their second nature. It becomes a part of them. It is why you have your family vision statement or your mission statement. When we talk about mission statement, it is almost the same as your family vision statement. Mission, their daily activity, that's in the practicality of their vision, how they will carry it out. Like I shared something in the Visionary Parent Academy the other day. I told them that a few things you do as your children are back to school, a few things I do with my children every day. We do affirmation. They have their personal affirmation. We recite every morning, talk about to keep them, to charge them for the day. Then we have our own family pledge. I have a vision statement as a pledge. I pledge today, like we have an intention. Okay, today, like a goal. Today, I'm going to be patient. Today, like you just look at your children. What are they struggling with? Like I have a child who we are looking at. Distraction. We want to be more focused. So today we'll have an intention for today, like okay, today I'll be more focused. The idea is as they go out today, they remember my intention for today is to be more focused. It's not like it's automatically like today they will just say they'll be more focused, they'll learn it today, after they'll be more focused. No, the more they say it, they set that goal every day, all the time, the more they remember, this is my goal for today. And when they affirm themselves, it's easier for them to say, okay, just marry everything together. Now, it is not automatic. It is never from today to tomorrow, one day. No. Now, remember I said in America, for example, where the children are preparing for, when the children become independent at 18, where they can take a loan, they can fund their tuition and all of that, they start preparing them from small. From 13, they're already able to get a job, walk away from the home. That is preparing them for independence. So by the time they become 18, they've learned 5 years, they put 5 years into training them to become independent. So it is while at 18, they can actually say, you are an adult now, go and stay on your own. Get a house. You even hear them say, you hear they say, the girl moved in with the boy. I'm like, she moved in with her boyfriend at 18 because they are adults for that adult age, So that wake up one morning and learn it. You start preparing them. Now remember, you are not just preparing them for just today. It's not just about today. A system is supposed to take your child through developmental process. I said that already. Supposed to take your child through a developmental process. Something that will build them, empower them. That's your family system. Empower them with skills towards your vision. That is your family system. So I was talking about the vision statement, mission statement, your pledge, or if can even be value statement. I shared one in the Visionary Parent Academy. I can't remember right now because because of this. I wish I had it in my system. I'll just read it out because of my children. Like I shared in the Visionary Parent Academy, I always share with them. I said, I've come to realize that, yes, very many times it is people who are visible, right? They are the ones. Opportunities come to you when you are ready and you are seen. Opportunities will meet you. So one of the things I tell my children is, one of the vision I have with my children is for them, I tell them they are global champions. Yes, they are global champions and they are going to occupy the global stage. So that's our vision, part of our vision. Now as they leave the house, they are reminded of the things that will help them become global champions. They are reminded to take advantage of opportunities. What does that mean? They are reminded to shine their lights. They are reminded to be bold. They are reminded to be self-disciplined. They are reminded to apply themselves. They are reminded that when there is a will, there is a way. So they are reminded to cultivate that will, to have that will. In our mission statement, it is crafted in such a way that they are reminded these things every single day. So it is meant to guide them. It is meant in a situation where, okay, I'm just trying to remember something. I I am seen, I'm heard. I'm trying to remember some of the lines. They are reminded that, hey, when they go out there, they are not going to dim their lights. I tell them, you cannot dim your lights. I remember when my daughter was still in primary school, when we just moved in here, and when she tries to answer a question in class, some of our classmates will say, are you the only one in class? Every time you be answering question, every time you be answering question, what is it? You know, they were trying to like shut her. And when she got home, she told me, and I told her, okay, how many times have you seen, how many of Dangote's products have you seen? She said, oh, Dangote sugar, Dangote pasta, Dangote cement, Dangote noodles, Dangote flour, Dangote this, Dangote that. I say, is Dangote the only person in Nigeria? No. So does Dangote stop other people from producing the same thing? No. So the sky is big enough for everyone. Nobody has a right to dim your lights. And let me tell you that nobody can if you don't allow them. They can only talk with their mouth. They are not clipping your lips. They are not capable of holding your lips. They can talk with their mouth. That is it. Now remember where you are going to. So every single opportunity you have, you must make yourself seen. You must make yourself heard. You must explore. You must take advantage of opportunities in the right way. As long as what you are doing meets rules and regulations in the place you are so good to go. You know, that is it. That is our mission statement. Reminds them every single day to live up to the standard that will help them become global champions and not local champions. That is your mission. So you must have your vision statement, your mission statement, your family pledge, or anything that you want to call it. That is one of the things you want to do. Everybody remembers. It is, you have a national anthem. Like in Nigeria, you have the national anthem. It's supposed to remind, it's supposed to be, your national anthem is supposed to be something that covers your values, that covers your belief as a system, that covers what you stand for as a system, as a country, so that when children come to school every day, they remember Nigeria. These are our values. These are the things we stand for. They can, as they sing it, they remember. They're supposed to live and reflect it. So you need to have your anthem, your family anthem, that guides your children. And every morning before they go to school, they quickly say it, they recite it, you remind them. They are driving to school, you remind them. You just constantly remind them, and they are able to sing it. You can have your values too, your family values written out. Your children are able to remember it all the time. And one way to help your children remember your family values, I have a video in a live video here. You want to go back to it. It's an amazing video. It's going to help you. Like, for example, my family values, we use them, our surname, as an acronym for our family values. So when you say we are the rebels, we actually know exactly what we stand for. So you can check this channel. You are going to see a video on that already. So have your family values, have all of that. Another thing to work with your system is that you want to create a structure and routine. You want to create daily routines where you have clear routine, clear goals, clear expectations. That is it. A routine. Your children know exactly what they are supposed to be doing at every given time. You are not winging it. This is where many parents struggle. Children do not know what they are supposed to do. You just come in and you just come in and you are throwing in things. Children just do anything. No. I always tell parents that just come randomly. Your child is, maybe because your child is playing, you feel your child is noisy, go and read. How do you expect that child to love reading? That child will not love reading. Because the child is playing, the child is having fun, and you are coming from nowhere, go and read. Reading is coming in the way of fun, so your child will not love reading. So it is why you have a routine. A routine. When is homework? When is meal time? How do you have your meal time? On the dining table as a family, or you can eat anyhow you like, anytime you like, or in the kitchen. When is your meal time? You have routine for every single thing. Routine. That's one thing you need to do. You also have weekly meetings with your children. It is very super important. Now let me talk about routine. This is where the main system is. Routine. Your system is in your routine and your structure. The things you do every single time. You want to have a system that captures them. Let me give you a practical example. When I moved in, my family relocated from Lagos to Delta State last year. So when we got in here, I have a friend here who buys things in bulk. Even when I was in Lagos, I used to join her community where people contribute money on a monthly basis. At the end of the year, you just buy things in bulk. You can buy anything you want to buy. You tell them what they buy with the money, they buy it in bulk. So when I got there, she said, okay, she buys a melon, egusi, melon seed. They buy it in bag and they share. Unpeeled one, they buy it in bags and they share. She said, okay, I'll be interested. I asked her, okay, how do you peel it? She said they have a machine somewhere in town. They will peel it there. She can peel it there, but she doesn't peel at once. She just take in bits and peels when she wants to eat, or she tells her children to peel. I said, okay, that's fine. So I got here and I contributed and I got mine. And then when it was time to peel, I asked her. She said, the place is like this. You go. I sat back and I said, I don't even know the place. I'm still trying to navigate my way. And she was saying, it's a one-way. Then you have to go and park here. The way she described the place was so hard. Coincidentally, my mother-in-law was around. I gave her some to peel for me and all of that. So the remaining ones, I thought to myself that, we can't have a system where, we want to eat. We're not start being pressured. Then I'll start nagging. I'll start whining. Oh, peel. You have no peel. That is what happens when you don't have a system. You are always going to be pressured. So what did I do? I factored the egusi peeling into our time. So whether we want to eat egusi soup, like right now, my children are downstairs. They are watching a movie. It's Friday. They are watching a movie. As they are watching, they are peeling egusi melon. We are not going to eat it tomorrow. We are not going to eat it next tomorrow. We just peel it, and whenever we have our family time, we are playing, we are gisting, we just take a handful, we peel. That is the rule. Until we are done peeling everything, that's how we are going to be peeling. When we peel, we put it in the freezer, we leave it there. Whenever we want to eat it, we bring it out, we eat it. We are not pressured. So I've put that into our system. We are not pressured. It is what your system is expected to do for you. You are not pressured. You are not running helter-skelter. You are not forgetting things. Because many times it is pressure. Pressure makes us be unintentional. As an intentional parent, you must have a system. So pressure makes you unintentional. Like I don't ever have to come and start getting angry. You didn't peel your egusi, you're supposed to peel. No, I don't ever have to do that. I was telling my friend that I don't think I'll buy next year. I don't think I'll buy. It's stressful. But after I was able to factor the peeling into our system, I said, why not? I'll keep buying. It saves me a lot of costs. So I'll still buy next year. So it's not pressure for me. It's not pressure for my children. We just take a handful, we keep it. Tomorrow, we still have free time. We take a handful, we peel, we drop it. By the time we are ready to cook it, it is there, ready, nothing. That is what the system does for you. So when you create a routine around your basics, your things, so sit down, look at the areas in your parenting that are constantly giving you headache, that you nag about, that you yell about, that you are spontaneous about, and create a routine around them. That is system. Let's look at it. In societies, we have crime. If there was not a system for people to learn to, like I was talking about my sister saying that, in the US it's the same. Humans are humans everywhere. But they know that, okay, when you do the crime, you are going to do the fine all the time. So because of that, that is a structure around it. So sit back and and look at your home. What are the areas you are struggling with? Then you want to create a structure around it. Is it money time, school runs, wake up in the morning, and your children, you have to yell, you have to smack? Nah. you create a structure around it. What can you do to minimize this drama, this money drama? And that your structure, that thing you do repeatedly, constantly, that becomes your system, because it is there. It is non-negotiable. I was sharing in the Visionary Parent Academy that one of the things I do for my children, we used to do in Lagos, that we'll start doing now again, is sometimes I forget events a lot. The day of the International Girl Child, I forget until I come to social media and say, oh, it's today, and I would have forgotten to probably do the things I want to do for my daughter, or boy child, I do the things I want to do for my son, or maybe even my husband's birthday, because my husband is not someone that is, if you don't remember my birthday, it's a big deal. Even me, it doesn't matter to me. Like, don't remember my birthday, or it's not something that should make me frown, angry. So it's not a big deal to me. However, like I shared in the Visionary Parent Academy, because I know that it's not about me, because once you have children, it's no longer about you. It's about the children you have. Because I know that my children, I know I have friends who, when their spouse don't remember their birthday, is a big deal. Yes. So I don't know the person my child is going to get married tomorrow, if it's someone that it will be a big deal to. Besides, it is good to remember people. Remember their special days, their birthdays, their anniversary. It makes them important. Someone just calls you, hey, it's your birthday, I want to wish you a happy birthday, or you get a surprise gift. It makes you feel special. It makes you feel loved. It makes you feel noticed by that person. It's a social skill. Now, because I want my children to be socially intelligent, to be socially smart, to be people smart, one of my vision for them to be people smart, then we created a calendar where we have different events like birthdays, anniversaries of their best friends or family members. There's a chart there. That is a structure for a system. It is there. So it's just on the wall there. So it's like every month, because we have a monthly planner. Every month we expect, I taught this to the children in the self-led mentorship class. By the way, we have another class coming in January. It's going to be a book reading club, leadership book reading club. But children are going to learn beyond just book reading. So we had a monthly planner. So every child, I have one. I had to buy, give my son my diary. I'm trying to find it now on his reading table here. So where you plan your month down. So we have that thing on our wall, the calendar on our wall. So every month, everybody goes to the calendar. Okay, what event do we have this month? Okay, this month is Daddy's birthday on the 27th of September. So you go to your monthly planner. So you're planning your month, you write it down. 27th of September, Dad's birthday. Oh, this is my friend's birthday. You write it down on that day. Okay, this is this event. You write it down on that day. So that you are not caught unaware. You are not pressured. If you want to make plans towards it, for example, you say, okay, I share this in the Dream Chasers magazine every month too. Every month I share it, and if you have the first and second edition, go over it, and you'll be able to teach your children this, or you'll be able to use it. So, for example, if you are planning, okay, the National Day of the Girl Child is coming, and I actually want to get my sister or my daughter an item, so you are going to write it. Okay, the National Day of the Girl Child is October 11th. I'm going to get an item for my sister October 10th. So I'm going to save up the money from October 1st to October 10th. So October 1st, I'll take 100 naira from my allowance and save it. By 10th, I'll make 1,000 naira, because the thing I want to buy is 1,000 naira, and I used to buy on 11th, I'll present it. So they will write it down, so that when they open their diary on October 10th, October 1st, they'll remember, oh, I have to save 100 naira, they'll save. Second, they open their planner, they see, oh, I'm saving on that 100 naira, they save. On the 10th, they say, oh, I need to go to the shop and buy XYZ. They go and buy. That is a structure. Nobody's pressure. That is also what you want to do in your family. The structure. Nothing. Nobody's pressured. Another thing I also do with my children is we have a bucket list. A bucket list is a box. It's not here. I think it's a box that has everything. So, oh, Mom, I want new shoes. Write it and drop it in the bucket list. Mom, I want to change my socks. Write it and drop it in the bucket list. Except it is an emergency, we attend to it. If it's not, these are the things where children are going to learn when they join this self-leadership book reading class. They are going to learn these things, you know. If it's an emergency, you drop it in the bucket list. If it's not if it's an emergency, maybe your school says, oh, buy this thing, it's an emergency, can't wait, so we are going to buy it. But oh, mom, I want a new shoes, drop it in your bucket list. I want anything, drop it in your bucket list. Oh, I want to learn how to do something, drop it in your bucket list. At the end of the month, we bring out our bucket list and we upturn it. We look at the things inside. We are making our budget. We prioritize. Okay, these are the things you want for the you ask for the month. Now this is the month we are making our budget, and this is the amount we have. So let's look at which one is important here. This is important, we're going to add it to it. This is important, we're going to add it to it. This can wait till next month. That is a system. So at the end of the day, children they don't feel, oh, I want something, I don't get it. You as a parent, you are not pressured. The children are also learning how to prioritize. They are also learning how to make smart, how to prioritize, how to make smart money decision. Then another one, we do have stock taking. You know, we have a leader. So the leader is, one of the chores of the leader is to take stock. By the end of the month, whoever is the leader, take stock. You go around the house, look at the things that are available. Oh, the soap, we don't have bathing soap again. We don't have laundry soap again. Our toothpaste is running out. There's no salt in the salt bottle. There are no seasoning cubes. Onion, we're running out of onions. Okay, beans is remaining. Bag of rice is remaining. We take those stock. We take them. We write them down. We add our bucket list. We add them to it, and we now say, okay, this is what we have at the end of the day. And of course, you know that we go to church, we pay offering 4 or 5 times in a month. We are going to take that out, and other things we are going to do. So at the end of the day, you are not pressured. Your children are not making unnecessary demands that get you pressured, that gets you angry. It is your family system that is working for you. Then another thing you want to do is you want to have a decision framework. I've shared that before. In your system, your children need to know that, okay, there are some things that are non-negotiable, some decisions that are non-negotiable, and they need to know why these decisions are non-negotiable. You know, when we had the class, I had a private family I was working with during the holiday, and we're talking about crush, and the girl asked me, why do I need to tell my parents about my crush? I can just tell God about it and move on. I don't need to tell my parents about it. And I told her, you need to tell your parents about it. Why? Because your parents, they have been there before. They are adults. They understand exactly what you are going through. God did not put them in your life for fancy. God put them in your life to be able to guide you. Your parents are the people, I would say, they love you the most in this world. So they want what is good for you, exactly what is good for you. They know your strengths, they know your weaknesses. So they are better able to guide you. They are better able to empathize with you. They are better able to tell you the truth based on your family vision, based on your values, based on what is good for you. So you need to tell your parents about your crush. The same thing happens. So when it comes to some decisions, they are not even negotiable. So you are taking them for your children. And you need to tell your children, these decisions, this is why I am insisting on them. I'm taking them for you. Until you get to a certain age when you're able to reason and understand, these are decisions I'm taking for you. For you as a child, these are decisions you take on your own. I don't need to interfere. I don't need to tell you what to wear to church. I don't need to tell you what to wear at home. As long as they are within the framework or the boundaries of our family. I don't even need to tell you the snacks to buy. I don't even need to tell you the TV channel to watch. As long as they are within the framework of our family. I don't need to tell you the book to read. I don't need to tell you a lot of things. As long as they are within the boundaries of our family. But however, for these other ones, you and I can talk. We can reach an agreement. And if you're able to present your case, like I tell my children, if you're able to present your case, if you're able to convince me, if you're able to negotiate your way, why not? You have it. But if you're not able to convince me, then I win. We have a debate and I win. That is it. So at the end of the day, the children, okay, this is for mom. This is for mom and I. This is for me. So you need to create a decision-making framework. And in your decision, you also need to promote open communication. Yes, open communication. In your system, there must be open communication. Your children must be able to come and talk to you. Now, this is why building a relationship with your children is super important. Now, let me tell you something. If you don't have a relationship with your children, it may not be easy for you to successfully operate a family system that aligns with your vision. Relationship is super important. One of the things relationship does to your family, to your parenting, is that just as you as an adult, you don't always want to offend. You want to be careful when it comes to people who have been there for you, people who you genuinely love, people you have a relationship with. The same thing happens to your children. You have a relationship with your children, they do not want to offend you. You have a relationship with your children, they want to see you smile, they want to see you happy. That is it. So having a relationship with your children is not even negotiable. You must have a relationship with your children as an intentional parent. It's not even negotiable. So for you to run an effective system, you have a relationship with your children. Let me again liken it to other developed countries, or like America, for example, because we started talking about them. They almost don't have a reason to say they want to go and steal. Why? Because they have a system that is readily there for them. Imagine, except in the case of greed, so they don't have to say, oh, because I was hungry I stole. No, because they have a system. It is why it is easy for them to say, oh, many Nigerians, they will say, oh, they go out, they see things. I saw on Facebook the other day, a woman was saying that she was just walking on the street, she saw a fridge, a big fridge, fine. Somebody had given it out, dropped it by the roadside, and she picked it and also went to drop hers by the roadside, because the one she got was newer than hers. So she had to go and drop hers by the roadside and pick that one. It was easy it's easy for them to do like something like that, because they have a system. Like when they are hungry, they have food banks where they go pick food. When they want to get something, they have a loan system that it's easy for them to access. It's easy for them to access. So because of that, it's easy for them to meet their needs. So it's almost a case of a mental issue for them to go and steal. That is it. So when you have a relationship with your children, they want to please you. They want to be in line. They want to follow your rules and regulations because they do not want to hurt you. They don't have any reason to hurt you. So as a parent, having a relationship with your children is not even negotiable, and it's going to be one of our major focus in 2025 in the Visionary Parents Academy. So you want to actually join us. Okay. So I think we are this class is becoming too long. We are almost an hour, 30 minutes or thereabout. However, if you follow everything I've talked about, know your vision as a family, know where you are going to, have a value system. And at the end of the day, one thing I want to talk about is to be consistent. Be super consistent. It is why you have your vision. It is why you have your values. It is why you have your mission statement, your vision statement, your family pledge. Then you have your rules and regulations. Your rules and regulations must not be spontaneous. No, they must not be driven by emotions. They must not be set by emotions. There is always a reason for them. What are the reasons? And I said to you that there are natural or logical consequences for it. Those rules and regulations, when there are natural or logical consequences for it, they become sacrosanct. It is not just because you want to bully your child, you want to punish your child, or you are not just in the right frame of mind or anything. They are your rules and regulations that they have, that they align with your vision, and for most times there are natural logical consequences for them. That is it. For example, you are teaching your children about prudence, financial management, financial stewardship, financial plans, and one of the things we are using is like I tell them that, see, you need to be able to deliberately learn how not to be wasteful or how not to spoil things. It is super important. It is part of our system in my home. You just don't waste things. I don't come in and see that you've pressed your toothpaste, half of the toothpaste, you have it in your wash hand basin. What is it doing there? Or I come into your bathroom, you have your soap soaked in water. It is a waste. So I've provided something for you to keep your soap that is not soaked in water. I've taught you how to use your toothpaste that you are not wasting it. So yesterday I've been trying to tell my children that, okay, I've been correcting them on, they hang their clothes, you come back, the pegs are everywhere on the ground. I've told them that when you leave your pegs on the ground, it rains on it, sun beats it, at the end of the day, they become easy to break and they are wasting. Then I'll have to replace them. When I'm not supposed to replace them, I'll have to replace them. By the time I take from our family budget to replace them, at the end of the month, we are struggling. We are not able to meet all the needs we are supposed to meet because I am replacing something I am not supposed to be replacing. It's like you just deliberately waste something. For example, you soak your soap in water. It's a bar of soap you're supposed to use for like 2-3 weeks or even 1 month. You soak it in water, and within a space of 1 day, it has wasted. You soaked it in water, it melted, and it's wasted. What does that mean? Something that's supposed to last for a month, not that you use it in a day, it wasted in a day. So imagine I buy another one today, right? You soak it in water again tomorrow, it melts. I buy another one. By the end of the month, I am buying 30 times. I'm spending 30 times. So if I'm supposed to spend 1,000 naira on your soap a month, I'll end up spending 30,000 naira on your soap a month. How much sense does it make? That is you being wasteful. Now imagine a family of 5. So we are supposed to use 5,000 naira soap every month, and all of us are soaking our soap in water and wasting it, which means we are now going to spend 5 times 30. We are spending 150,000 naira on soap every month. Where is the money going to come out from? So it simply means that money coming out from somewhere, that money is going to come out from somewhere. Maybe your school fees. No, it can't be your school fees because your school fees is priority. So maybe your snacks. Maybe that fancy shoe you want to buy. Maybe that fancy dress you want to buy. Maybe that treat you actually want to have. That is what we are going to bring out the money from to spend. Simple. So I come out and I see them leave pegs every day and I tell them about it. And so yesterday I just told them, okay, we are going to have it this way. Since you always leave pegs outside, you don't bring them in. So it simply means you don't have value for them, right? You don't have value for them. Now remember, in giving rules and regulations, you actually want to give your children time to learn. Yes. So that's why I say you give them the first strike, you give them the second strike, and the third strike, you actually impose consequence. And from there, consequence is ongoing. I just don't give them consequence the first time. No, you give them time to learn. Because remember, you just said it now. You just gave them a rule now. And after giving them a rule, they forget. Because it's not something they are used to. It's something new. You just introduce it to them. So you don't expect it to be automatic. So they forget. It's okay. So you remind them a second time. You expect now for them to deliberately invest in remembering. So you remind them a second time and they are supposed to run with it. And they still forget. It means one thing. The third time, they need to be able to associate it with something that will help them remember. So maybe that third time is the consequence. The consequence will help them remember. So first time, strike. Second time, a strike. The third time, you get, okay, the first time a warning. Second time a warning. The third time, you get a strike. That is how I operate. So I've told them previously. And so yesterday, I told them, okay, it's the last straw. What is going to happen is, if I come back, I find if I come back and I find the pegs on the ground, it only means one thing. You don't have any value for it. You don't want it. You don't need it. It's disturbing. You don't have value for it. So because I want it, I know the value. Because I also teach my children that when you don't show responsibility towards something, it will be taken away from you. So it seems you don't have value for it, so I'm going to take it and keep it. I'll only use it. So you're going to spread your clothes on the line like that. So when you spread your clothes on the line and it rains or there's a heavy wind and your clothes fall off the line, you are going to go back to wash your clothes now, right? So you are going to wash your clothes with water and wash them with soap. Who is going to buy the soap? I am not buying the soap. You are buying the soap. That is your consequence. So I'm not yelling at you. I'm not smacking you. I'm not flogging. I'm not doing all the lecturing and everything. I just have helped you. I've just helped them understand why they should be careful, because the consequence is either natural or logical. So in this case, it's logical. You don't value my pegs, I take it away from you, because that's the truth of the matter. If you don't show responsibility towards something, it's going to be taken away from you. Now, you're not showing responsibility towards my peg, the pegs are taken away from you. When they are taken away from you, what happens? You spread your clothes. You are lucky, your clothes are intact by the time they are dry. Good for you. You are not so lucky, it rains and they fall and the ground is wet and your clothes are stained. You are going to wash it again. However, you are going to take your own money, you are going to walk down the street and buy the soap to wash your clothes. Simple. That is it. And it is a rule we have set now. We intend to stick to it. We are so sticking to it. And they will learn that is a system. By the time they forget again, they actually see that, okay, it is carried out. They are going to learn. So you want to have rules, you want to have regulations, not just randomly, but actually rules and regulations that actually align with the help, that empowers your children to be able to walk towards the vision. We have something like, if I go around, you will see this place looks like a classroom. It's not a classroom, it is our reading lounge where everyone has their table and chair. We sit down to read. Why do we have it? Because you can't raise global leaders who are not intelligent. They must be intelligent. They must be able to read, invest in reading. So we have a space where we are constantly reading. So we have a routine for reading. We sit down and we read. And it is not just random. I don't just wake up and say, oh yeah, go and read. No, we have specific time. Every day from 6:30 to 8 p.m. we revise. We have our family time, back from school, gist, makeup, and all of that. After that, we all revise what we learned in school. And we also go further to read another book that we call it self-development book in my family. So these are structures. Now, what makes them a system is the consistency. What makes them a system is the fact that we go through them, we repeat them, we do them, we carry them out every single day. Is the fact that we have, we are able to be consistent. That is what makes them a system. We are consistent. Remember, when you are not consistent, you do it today, you don't do it tomorrow. Your children will not internalize it. When they don't internalize it, it is not a system. They are not going to learn. So you must make sure they are internalized. Okay, so that's about all I want to share today. I think when we go back to the Visionary Parents Academy, I will share more. And another thing you can have, I just saw my screen, is very important. You have family rituals and traditions. Yes, I talked about creating a calendar. In your calendar, you want to create a monthly planner. In your monthly planner, create a family calendar. A family calendar. You know, in that family calendar, have your traditions. Once in a week is a bonding time. You want to take your children out once in a week, once in a month, you take them out. You want to just have a family tradition, memories you create with your children. Once in a week, is it movie nights? You do movie nights once in a week. Is that it? Is it you do special bonding activity? Maybe bonding activity. Let me share with you one of the things in our family calendar. It is our gratitude day. Once in a month, we have a gratitude day. So every day, I expect, we don't always remember, but now that I've mentioned it, I'm going to be super consistent again. We used to have a jar back then in Lagos where every day you're supposed to just drop one thing you are grateful for. One thing you are grateful for, you just drop it in the jar. Something that actually made you happy today, you drop it in the jar. You did your classwork, you got 10 over 10. You are grateful to God for the intelligence. You drop it in the jar. Your brother did something nice to you. Oh, it made you happy. You are grateful for the amazing brother you have. You drop it in the jar. You got a new dress. Oh, you are super happy. You drop it in the jar. At the end of the month, we have a gratitude party. So what do? We bring the jar out. We begin to read the things inside. We are happy. We are celebrating. It's a family ritual. We used to do it. We are going to go back to it now. It's a family ritual. That can be a family ritual. The children wake up. They remember, oh, this time in my home back then, it used to be our gratitude party, It's a family ritual. That is it. Okay, once in a month, I take my children out. On Sundays, when we close from church, we don't eat in the house. We just go to a fancy restaurant to eat something. It's a family ritual. You can adopt that, Once in 3 months, once in a quarter, we travel down to greet our parents. Every time, we don't miss it. It's a family ritual, Once in a month, we check out a new recipe online and we see something. We just make we create a fine food, and we now create a fine dining experience for everyone in the family. We sit down, we eat together. We just have our first course meal, second course meal. We just have it, a very beautiful family experience where we decorate everywhere. It is a family ritual. So you actually want to create a family ritual. And like I told you, what makes it a system is the fact that you are consistent. You are consistent. You repeat it. You do it over and over again. So your children know that these are the things we do in my family. Everybody has their roles. Everybody has their you have a church chart. You have a church chart. Everybody knows what they are supposed to do. They know their roles. So you don't have, I remember back then, growing up, my parents would say, give me something. It used to upset them a great deal. Give me something. Nobody will stand up because they did not mention anybody's name. They didn't mention anybody's name. It used to upset them. So in my home, I have a structure around that. Remember, I said anything that gives you a headache, anything that you nag, you yell about, you have to create a structure around it. And the repetition of it, the consistency of it, it is what makes it a system. I've shared a lot. Family budgeting, because your system is supposed to take pressure away from you. So your children's behavior, create a system around it. Your routines, chores, behavior expectations, your family budget, even your mental health. Yes, create a structure, a system around it. Like, okay, there's a spot in my house where as you can have a spot in your house where, okay, when you're upset, you go there, you just calm down. There are things we do for us to learn certain things. Like if you read my family constitution, you will see that, okay, there are consequences that my chickies face to modify certain behaviors. It is the consistency of it that makes it a structure, that makes it a system. That is it. You have it. This is it. These are the rules. These are the rules. These are the consequences. They have it. Everyone knows their chore, what they are supposed to do, when they are supposed to do it. You have a roster. You have a chore rotation. You have specific chores. Everyone has it. You don't need to come and remind them. For example, tomorrow is Saturday. We have our routine on Saturday. It is our system. So even when we have visitors in the house, we are still doing the same thing. They even know these are the things we do. That is your system. So everybody knows. Your system takes away pressure from you. It is you planning. I've explained to you. It is you planning. Your child is going to become a teenager, right? Yes. You are going to have, okay, let me see. Before my child becomes a teenager, when my child becomes 13, these are the things I expect my child to be able to do at 13, right? So I'm going to have a plan, 1, 2, 3, on how to empower him for him to be able to act 13, meet expectations when he gets to 13. You follow them the way you have itemized them. It is a system. It is a system. So every area of your parenting, you want to sit down and build a system around it. Sit down and build a system. At the end of the day, bring them all together and bring them all together, and that is your system. I'm going to look at my screen now and share a few areas I mentioned here. Then after that, I'll wrap up. I hope I find it here, because I have, okay, oh no. So you can build a system around your communication, build a system around your finances as a family. I've talked about decision framework, yes. I've talked about having your children come together, have family meetings is important, it's non-negotiable. Intentional parenting, you have family meetings. I have a guide for that. When you get my family constitution, you get my family meeting. Why? Because in creating your family constitution, you need to have your meetings. You need to have your meeting, so you have the meeting guide to help you create a family meeting guide. And then if you join the Visionary Parent Academy for 2025, you are going to get all those materials free, and you are going to be held by the hand to create an effective family system. You know, where you are going to have your rules, you are going to have your regulations, you are going to have milestones, appropriate milestones in your child, and how to prepare your children for each milestones. Your child is going to go to primary 1, you want to prepare them. Your child transitioning to be able to leave the house and be able to transition smoothly. You prepare them. You want to prepare your child for becoming a teen. You prepare them. You know, you want to prepare your child even become different aspects. You want to prepare your child. So we are going to look at all of that in 2025 January. Hold you by your hands to teach you exactly how to create your family system. We are going to look at the different areas of family system. Spiritual life. What is your spiritual life? You know, you want your children to have it a balance. You want your spiritual life to be balanced. We are going to create it in our system. Your spiritual life is going to be covered in your system. Your finances is going to be covered in your system. Your work-life balance, how to balance work and your parenting is going to be covered in the family system. You are going to have your children's behavioral expectations, your rules and regulations of the family going to be covered in your system. What other areas? Every single thing you need to cover in your system is going to be covered in your system in 2025 January. So what you want to do is to send a message asking how you can be part. You can drop it here, asking how you can be part. I promise you it is going to be super empowering. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you got value, please do well to leave your comment, and also do well to share this video. You can just copy the link, go to your children's school, share there, go to your old school association, your alumni, share there, just share. Let people know that we have value going on here. Thank you so much for joining me today. See you next week Friday. Bye-bye. Meanwhile, I come here, we drop videos every now and then, so don't wait till next week Friday. You can come in Sunday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Thursday to see the video we have for the day, and learn and take action. Bye. Jesus.